Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And sometimes the good Lord smiles upon thee, as the good Lord has done. Well, he does that all the time. That's my wibbly-wobbly view of the world. Sometimes the good Lord smiles upon thee and gives you a little gift. So it's Friday for me today. Now, Friday is a bit of a stress-filled day because the Sabbath starts much earlier now. This time we just had the time change, so the Sabbath starts coming up like 4:20, which means I don't do any I don't use any devices or anything like that. I don't directly use electricity or anything like that when the Sabbath starts, which means I've got to get everything done, right? Everything done by then. And I like to try and put out videos on Saturdays, which means I record them on Fridays, which means it's a stress fest to get them out, which means on Thursdays, I normally like to get everything worked out, get thumbnails made, work out what I'm doing on Friday. This week I was a bit trepidatious going into Friday because I had one slot of it, which I wasn't sure I was even going to fill. I had one slot open. I was like, yeah, let's just wait and see what happens. Let's just wait and see what news drops. And then there's really two interesting stories. Well, one interesting story drops, which puts another story from 2 days ago in a completely different light, right? A completely different light. We have a conservative politician saying something. So, the Jodie fans are all going to say, it's evil! What? Because they just think along tribal lines. There's no way anybody does anything good if they don't align with them ideologically, which is basically the point of this video. And there's no way anybody does anything bad if they do align with them ideologically, even if it's the self-same thing, right? Even if it's like they're actually doing the exact same thing. There's no practical difference. This one's a racist, that one's a racist. This one treats people differently because of their skin color, and this one treats people differently because of their skin color. This one talks badly about this person because of their skin color. So does it. It's identical, right? It doesn't matter. It's all about tribalism and tribal lines, which these two stories next to each other, I think, demonstrate just beautifully, absolutely beautifully. And it's causing a bit of a storm in the Doctor Who fandom world today, because again, Jodie fans, which control, used to control until they all vanished, control like a lot of the legitimate, the things we always looked at as a legitimate news outlet, like Doctor Who magazine. I'm sure many people out there watching this video used to buy Doctor Who magazine and don't anymore, because Doctor Who magazine kind of not so subtly went, we don't like you if you don't align with us. Exactly the same as we don't like you, we hate you if you're not on the same tribe as us, right? Which I can't think of anything less Doctor Who than that. But again, the other thing about these people is they're morons, right? They're morons, and they're entitled morons, and they don't know they're morons because nobody's ever been able to tell them they're morons, because that's violence. Because they're morons, So it's a circular thing. Fine, before we get into the story, like, share, stories. There's two stories. Before we get into stories, like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. I'm very, very grateful to everybody liking, sharing, subscribing. It's really, really helpful for me. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I've still got a bunch of comments from yesterday I didn't get to. I had a busy day yesterday. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Oh, that coffee is good. Oh, first coffee day, always good. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are very, very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Fine, let's look at this article, shall we? Doink. Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker. Jodie Whittaker's doctor causes boys to commit crimes. Now, that does sound like a somewhat of a ridiculous allegation, right? I don't think he was sort of speaking. Well, actually, I haven't read this in detail. Like, I've skimmed it. But this is from Bleeding Cool. Now, Bleeding Cool are the chief propagandists of the in this small area of the cultural wars, which is where we live. We live in a time of a cultural strife, right? Of cultural division. Let me just turn off the heat. Oh, that's better. We live in a time of strife and division. They're a chief propagandist. Now, what's the difference between a liar and a propagandist? Because propagandists lie. They lie a lot. But what's the difference between a liar? I would say this, that a liar often lies in the moment. This is several times, but the most common type of liar lies in the moment because they don't want to be embarrassed or called out. So they lie, right? They lie. They hope they don't get caught. Have you seen this new movie? Yes. When you haven't. People kind of done that. It's weird. I mean, I don't do that, but I really remember doing stuff like that. And it's really normal, right? It's really normal. So that's lying. Propaganda is something different. Propaganda is intentional denial and inversion of truth, right? So the propaganda always comes up, it's always lies that are delivered with extreme screaming, outrage, which I think we see, we've seen a lot of propaganda over the last 5 years, haven't we? And frankly, the only reason that we saw propaganda over the last 5 years is because I think the public started to push back against this insane narrative that the progressives, who are, I will say, Jodie Whittaker fans, have put forth. And that's why they start screaming. So they're certainly going to scream at this because they can handle no criticism whatsoever. I remember there was this guy, we're talking about inflation about 6 months ago when inflation just started. Remember back then, back in the good days when it was only a few percent? No. Now it's just... So this restaurant said they're spending an extra, I don't know, like $2,000 a month on mayonnaise, right? And so you had all these tribal idiots, these overeducated tribal idiots saying, you spent that much money on mayonnaise? Well, probably good for you. You can't have any more because it's not good. And they basically said he was lying. He said, well, no, listen, we had a 4% raise. Mayonnaise cost this month, so now it costs this month. You must be lying! No, because, again, they're morons. They're morons, and they will scream. They will scream at you because they are propagandists as well. So they... what was going on there is the general increase at the time was about 4-6%, but the mayonnaise had increased about 40-50%, right? And they use mayonnaise in everything. They use it in ranch dressing. That's that style of restaurant. And the math actually did work out, and they all had egg on their face, but none of them ever acknowledge it, right? None of them ever acknowledge it. So fine. So we got this story today, reasonably stupid story on the surface of it, but let's read it. Since today's Thanksgiving and us ugly Americans like to use the day of giving thanks, watching dog shows and football, and just on the side, American Christmas and Thanksgiving does not hold a candle to English Christmas. And this isn't just jingoism or tribalism, which I've been railing against. English Christmas is awesome. You get awesome food. You get great TV. In America, you don't get any of that. You get sport. You get football. I want to see the Christmas Are You Being Served, right? That's what I want to see. I'm not really interested in American football, which is kind of a boring game. I mean, it's okay if you drink heavily during it, but other than that, it doesn't really do much for me. If you like us starting... leftovers scorecard, right? Well, listen, from what I understand, this is the most good, talking about inflation, this is the most expensive Thanksgiving ever, ever on record. It's got really, it went from under a year, it blows my mind, under a year, the greatest economy of all time to the worst economy. It blows my mind. But no, reality won't sink in. So imagine the surprise and how thankful we were when the wonderfully ignorant comments. I can't wait to see how ignorant we are, because I'm spoiling the punchline. The next article we're going to look at, it proves this guy, this conservative MP, that's a Republican right-wing MP, to be completely correct. Now, I want to be clear. I think if we're talking about American politics, I think Republicans are marginally less evil and useless than Democrats, right? That doesn't make them good, right? That there's a chance of that political party can be co-opted and taken over by people, right? And reflect the will of the people much more than the Democrat Party. But basically, just because you're conservative doesn't mean I agree with you, okay? Especially in England. I mean, honestly, look, there is the Conservative Party in England, which is the right-wing party. They have no competition at all, and they are so useless. They're so unbelievably useless. It's breathtaking. Right, so Conservative Party MP, weekend comments on Conservative MP Nick Fletcher had to say about Doctor Who in general and Jodie Whittaker specifically. Basically, that the casting of Whittaker as a doctor, along with the practice of casting women in what Fletcher considers traditionally male roles. Well, so I think Fletcher considers traditionally male roles that have been played for decades upon decades by only men. That's what it means, right? Like Macbeth is traditionally a male role, right? Lady Macbeth is traditionally a female role, but here we're getting into the core of their inside. We're going to the core of this guy's religion. Ray Fluke, is it Ray Fluke or Ray Fluke? Wrote this. Ray Fluke. We're getting to the core of his religion, that the men and women are interchangeable, right? Men and women interchangeable. And if anybody ever speaks heresy against the tenets of this religion, that men and women are completely interchangeable, then they're evil, right? That's the only like. Here's the thing: you can tell they're baby-brained morons, because they amongst themselves can only have one response to anything, one kosher response to anything. Have you seen like Doctor Who Flux, the latest season of Doctor Who? Has definitely had good bits in it, leaving people on my side of the cultural aisle a little bit flummoxed. They're going, well, because I'm used to just having a ton of stuff to slag off about it, like Star Trek Discovery. Oh god, I gotta watch the next episode. I'm scared. I'm just used to having like lots of things to be able to slag off. There are actually good things, and I want to be positive whenever where I can be positive. But I found that's left us not giving scathing reviews because we want to be honest, right? We want to be honest. We think that's a good thing, generally speaking. I think. So about people to go specifically, basically. The casting window, along with the practical traditionally male, is a slippery slope. And by the way, the last time that people like Ray Fluke laughed at the idea of a slippery slope was at same-sex marriage. When same-sex marriage was happening, the argument was made, but this is a slippery slope. Next thing to know that, we'll say that men are women and women are men, that penises don't make you male and vaginas don't. And they went, oh, don't be ridiculous. That's crazy. You're a crazy extremist to think that. You're just crazy. And people say, and it would lead to, and then they're going to be trying to be a normalization of pedophilia. Oh, you're just hateful and crazy. Really? Turn on Netflix, mate. Turn on Netflix. Here's the thing. They've been proved 100% correct, and you've been proved 100% wrong in this, right? But let's see what has got this problem is. It's a slippery slope that forces boys to look to criminals for role models. Well, here's the thing. The only interesting characters right now, the only watchable, the only engaging characters that the entertainment industry put out are white male characters, right? It's this push for enforced diversity. It also came with another rule, is that you can't make anybody give anybody any negative trait whatsoever if they're on the progressive stack. If they're black, if they're trans, if they're a woman, you have to have them massively disproportionately represented in front of the screen, and none of them can be anything other than perfect, right? Which makes for shit TV, which is kind of like how we saw Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. Although, on top of that insane ideology, you also have breathtaking incompetence as well. So whoa, what a perfect storm of awful. So the only characters right now that are compelling in any way are white male characters. They're the only characters you're allowed to add any nuance to, right? I tell you that's factual, right? I know you don't like that, Ray. I know you don't like that the idiocy that you have demanded has caused nothing but misery. Again, you hated Trump. I know, and everything. And why am I bringing up Trump? Because everything you think about connects to Trump. You hated him with every fiber being. You had to get him out. You wanted to get the adults back in the room. You wanted to be stunning and brave. And everything that you bet on big time has failed. 100% failed, right? How's this stunning and brave Biden administration going, right? Do you want to tell the women who've been raped by the Taliban, or the men who have had their tongues cut out for translating, right? No, you don't want to do that? Okay, fine. Again, no accountability. So yeah, I think he actually might have a point. As we say, that's kind of a gift on the slow news day that we're just gonna love. No, this is the gift to me, Diggerling, moron. I think okay. I've just thought of the title of this video, which you probably have seen because you probably clicked on it already. Politician blames Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who for creating a generation of toxic, hate-filled babies, and then a generation of toxic, hate-filled babies blame John Barrowman for anything, for everything. Yeah, I kind of point. They do kind of prove his point. There seems to be a call from a very tiny but very vocal minority that every male character is or a good role model must be a female replacement. Again, yes. How are we denying this? I don't understand. Have you seen Foundation? Now, I'm toying around with the idea of doing a review of the last 2 episodes, but I'm really kind of out because it's it was a show divided into 3/3, right? 1/3 was about a stunning and brave brat girl who's the key to everything. The second third was about a stunning brave brat girl who's very masculine and had the size of her head shaved and is the key to everything. And the third was about Lee Pace, Intergalactic Emperor. One of those thirds, freaking awesome! The white man, freaking awesome. The other 2/3, dull as ditch water, and frankly, it's not. When 1/3 is excellent and 2/3 are crap, I'm out, right? I am out. I don't understand how you're even denying this basic, demonstrable truth there, right? In recent years, we've seen Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, Luke Skywalker, The Equalizer. Oh my God. The Equalizer is a thing that I still can't believe is real. It still looks to me like a Saturday Night Live skit, having Queen Latifah playing Edward Woodward. It's so ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous, right? Oh, I would love somebody to make one of these shows where they get a stunning and brave black woman who's the key to everything, and put them in a real life situation. Like, did you ever see or read the comic? What was it called again? Not Wanted by Mark Miller. Kick-Ass, right? Where a guy puts on a costume and tries to be a superhero and takes on the mob. Well, the first thing that happens is he gets beaten near to death, right? And is in hospital for months on end. I would love to see that. Again, I don't want to see violence happen to anyone, but I would love to see that happen. Or replacement with women. Fletcher actually said that in the middle of a meeting in which his words were going to be recorded for the record. Again, I would like you to explain to me what is inaccurate about that statement, right? I don't know your point of view, but you seem to be laughing at it. The comments were made by a British politician during a Westminster debate marking International Men's Day. Okay, but it seems to all fit, right? Again, you've destroyed you've destroyed every male role model because you don't like men. And you don't like white men because you feel guilty, right? You feel guilty because you've been brainwashed into thinking that white men are evil, and you've been done, and that's happened, but for not good reasons, right? It's been done to control you, to make a fool out of you, which is exactly what's happening. So yeah, okay. Again, Luke Skywalker, like, really? And have you not noticed how these things normally play out, right? Have you not noticed how the public always rejects them? I understand Disney gets to hide the numbers, right? Disney does stuff to hide the numbers. Fine, that's cool. Like, you want to tell me that Captain Marvel got made $1 billion and Disney certainly didn't buy any seats in theaters? I don't believe you. I do not believe you. Why wouldn't they do that, right? Exactly. I do not believe you. Here's the thing. It's getting more and more extreme. It's got much more extreme this year. We have, let's say you have a window and you see it raining outside, and then on the media you go, "It's sunny out on another sunny day. It's being sunny," and you see it's raining, and they think, "No, don't believe your lying eyes." We see this a lot. Honestly, I think this whole it's weird. During the summer of last year, we saw riots. We saw on the TV, I saw lots of riots, lots of insurrection, lots of autonomous zones, buildings being burnt down, defund the police. I saw real, genuine riots and civil unrest. And oftentimes I saw reporters from CNN standing in front of flames going, "Here I am at a mostly peaceful protest." And then on January 6th, it seems to me there was a mostly peaceful protest, right, that caused little to no damage and no loss of life, other than the people in the protest, one person in the protest who was shot under very suspicious circumstances, right, for no apparent reason whatsoever. And they want to tell us that that's an insurrection again. Yeah, we just like the best socialist totalitarians. They're telling us, don't believe the evidence of our lying eyes, right? Our lying eyes are telling me Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who, and she's shit. Okay, my lying eyes are telling me that Rey is a stunning and brave replacement for Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca. You know, what do you want me to tell you? I watch this shit, and so do you, right? And you just thought it will go down well, and it hasn't. Again, you thought the Biden presidency would go down well. Go look at Afghanistan, which you've forgotten about now already, haven't you? Normally, this will be part of where we go off for 300 words about how there is a huge need for female role models across pop culture spectrum. Why? I don't really like you pretending there wasn't any female role models. Really? No, there weren't any genderless role models, which is what you really want, right? And the reason why there weren't any genderless role models, because genderless thing isn't a thing for most people. For 99.9% of people, it's not a thing. In fact, gender is a cornerstone of one's personal identity. And how someone needs to show us where boys are lacking in role models, when the ratio to male to female heroic leads are still as obscenely off. Again, not really. Not really, no. It's obscenely off that the woman's in charge of everything on everything in TV. I don't know where you get like obscenely off. Especially everything being made since 2019, right? Yes, I think so. But this one's easy because it's such an easily stupid thing to tee off. Let me hear your argument. To all of the parents out there, a moment of tough love. Let me ask you: are you a fucking parent? I bet you're not. Really? Where's your picture? You don't look like somebody who's had children and raised them, mate, okay? You do not look... Why? Because you look like an idiot child, right? You don't look like somebody who's... So let's hear your tough love about something you know nothing about, mate. If your little boy is running to Walter White from Breaking Bad or Jason Patrick from Power to learn how to be a man, that speaks less of what Whittaker's doing with a career and more to what you're not doing as a parent. You ignorant cunt, okay? No. Okay, speaking of somebody who has no idea of parenting. No, it's not that Jodie Whittaker is the lack of a role model. There is a full-on assault on masculinity. So here's the problem. Remember that Gillette ad, like, all violence is bad, masculinity is bad, bam, 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 bam. Here's the thing, violence is neutral. Violence can be a good thing. Violence is intended to protect weaker people from strong people, right? I keep hearing stories of people being raped, literally raped on subway trains while nobody intervenes because everybody's a coward. And you know, that's when masculinity comes in handy, right? Masculinity comes in handy to stop these things, to protect. Which is why women traditionally never went to war when war was a much more physical endeavor, because it was considered immoral, because the strong should protect the weak, and men are, generally speaking, on a physical level, stronger than women are physically, right? So it's not that Jodie Whittaker is Doctor Who; it's the full-on assault on masculinity as represented by Jodie Whittaker's casting. Now, and again, I was on board for a casting. I didn't know you guys would be idiots. But yeah, as a freaking parent, thank God. Thank God they're not growing up in this age of genderless idiocy, right? Thank God. Thank God my youngest is 18, 19, right? I just thank God, because it was up to people like you. You would educate them on so they'll be an easier target for a paedophilia. Really? And this is the weird thing. Everybody on your side of the fence, Mayor Ray, every Democrat policy in America always has the one strange common denominator. It results in more children more children available to easily abuse sexually, right? Immigration policy, we had hundreds of children being bussed throughout the country with no oversight whatsoever, right? Economic policy, yes, they're bankrupting the middle class, right? Money makes people desperate. That it ends up with children more easy to abuse. Education policy. Have we not seen the textbooks showing people how it's good for a friendly uncle to introduce you to stunningly brave you, introduce you into the love that dare not speak its name? Star Trek 1 of Episode Discovery, in my mind, had a scene which was a pedophile's masturbatory fantasy, right? 100%. I think that's what it was, because I think you guys had, remember Slippery Slope? Oh, that was just stupid, right? You've been proved wrong. But the bottom line is, where the lack of male role models, the lack of masculinity, is resulting in a generation of toxic idiot man babies with no morality whatsoever, which we're about to see, which you're a member of, Mr. Fluke. You might start that realizing mum or dad are a bit more interactive and hands-on than you want to be. Okay, this guy giving parenting advice, knowing nothing, just makes my blood boil, right? Then you may want to, but those are terms of service you should read ahead before you choose to raise a human being who needs to be able to function in a ever diversifying society. It's not ever diversifying. Here's the thing, it's not. The numbers haven't changed. Right? I mean, if you say diversifying, there's more black people, fine. Nobody gives a shit about skin color. I think, apart from people on your side of the fence. Here's what I think is going on internally with these people, right? I think they're all genuinely white racist. I think they think black people are lesser, right? And they feel guilty for feeling that way. But they go, oh, look at them, they're so stupid. We can't let them look after themselves, though, can we? And they feel guilty for that. And they just feel that racism is normal. And they think it's in you. And they think it's in you, but you haven't controlled it like they have. That's what's going on in their idiot minds. The doctor isn't the problem. Folks like Nick and US Senator Josh Hawley, with their dangerous, antiquated views on real men, are supposed to be. Real men are supposed to protect women. Yeah, that's what it's about. And I'm not saying women are helpless. I'm saying the function of masculinity is for the strong to protect the weak. I saw this clip, really incredible clip, right, of what's his name? Curtis, the guy who, or was it Kubi? It was Curtis and Kubi, one between the left wing, one right. The guy who started the Guardian Angels in America, the people who rode the subways with the red berets to bring security there. Fantastic. So he was running for mayor. Does not have a chance. He was running for mayor of New York. And an insane homeless man walks into his public rally, right? And they're going to get rid of him. And says, no, don't do that. And this guy engages with him. Directly. I mean, like, again, this is masculinity used properly. Engages him, say, what's your name? Have you ever been in hospital before? Talks to him as a human being. The guy starts crying. He says, don't worry, we're going to look after you. Why are we going to look after you? Because it's our responsibility to look after you. Yes, that's what masculinity is, right? Masculinity means you have to have the strength both externally and internally. You can't just go around doing whatever the hell you feel like whenever the hell you feel like it, right? And that is what's lacking inside. And then if not to prove that completely, absolutely completely, let's look at this other article from 2 days earlier, right? 1 second. John Barrowman, time's up. Same writer. Now, why are they still going after John Barrowman with such ferocity? It seems strange, right? The history of this was that Noel Clarke got Me Too'd with seemingly non-criminal, unsubstantiated allegations. Right? See, that's what. And then he kept his mouth shut. Well, a clip emerged when he was in the middle of being cancelled of him talking about John Barrowman getting his dick out often on the backstage while making Doctor Who. And here's the thing: there was no complaining witness in the John Barrowman case, right? There's no plaintiff. Nobody's damaged in any way, shape, or form. But because I think Barrowman refused to accept upon himself the judgment of the mob, they hate him even more, right? Why? Because they have no masculine influence, because these are bad, evil people. Yes, so I think this proves whatever that politician says. And again, doesn't matter if you're conservative or Labour, Republican, Democrat, you're probably a dick, right? You're probably an arsehole. You're probably an evil arsehole. I just want to be clear, right? I'm not picking favourites on this one. So let's read this story. Aside from an anecdote from James Masters during Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You podcast back in September, there really has been much to cover in regards to Doctor Who star John Barrowman, Captain Jack Harkness. In case you forgot, Barrowman was called out earlier. Again, no, he wasn't. This was from, okay, well, he says it, called out earlier this year when allegations of inappropriate behavior resurfaced via a 2014 video, a video that's always been public, right? This is Noel Clarke and, what's her name? Jackie Tyler. Kind of hot. Like, I would. Don't know. Anyway, on stage at a convention talking about John Barrowman, and they were all laughing about it, right? It was clearly something that everybody was fine with, right? Right? But, you know, these people who are going after it, Me Too people, or Time's Up UK, they're evil. They are absolutely evil. And I think they don't like gay people. That's really what it is. I think it's one thing to be on the progressive stack, but to be on the progressive stack and then not follow the edicts of the mob, that makes you, public enemy number one, which is how they treat him. Why? Because they have no masculine role models in their life, which makes them into these pathetic weasel boys. This is how I would categorize Mr. Fluke based on this. And in case you forgot, we called out earlier, Doctor Who's co-star Noel Clarke, who faces his own allegations, but they've forgotten about him, discussed Barrowman exposing himself on set. Since the time, Barrowman has approached the issue with almost Jekyll and Hyde way. No, you're just a disingenuous, lying propagandist, right? And you refuse to understand the bleeding obvious and very simple. You might be a moron as well, but you're certainly a lying propagandist. On one hand, releasing statements of The Guardian to address his high-spirited behaviour. Yes, again, who is the complaining witness or witnesses? Anybody? If there's nobody, shut up! You got no. Your offence is meaningless. You immoral people. God, having moral inferiors scream about morality is a bit sickening, isn't it? He said he only ever intended, in good humour, I believe it completely, to entertain colleagues on set backstage. Yeah, which is what happened. How it was taken. With the benefit of hindsight, I understand that upset may have been caused by my exuberant behaviour, and I apologise for this previously. I believe this is documented. But no, there is no apology without grovelling to the mob for these immoral people. Again, Fluke, this proves that Conservative MP 100% correct. Since my apology in November 2020, my understanding of my behaviour and set has also changed. Yet others also saw Barrowman as approaching the backlash he received over his actions as almost a personal attack where he was a victim. It was a personal attack where he was the victim. But again, you can't admit to that because you're a lying propagandist. Well, it would appear Barrowman had some time to think about everything that's been tried over the past months, and he came up with an important conclusion. A conclusion to share on ITV talk show Lorraine. And for those of you betting out there the money's on, Barrowman realised his actions were wrong no matter what year it was, especially exposing a genital in the workplace. He's already admitted that was wrong. He's already said that was wrong. I'm sorry, I understand that wasn't such a big deal. You know how we know it wasn't a big deal? Because, again, there is no complaining witness. There is only propagandists trying to disingenuously use this against the gay man for some reason. Clearly, you're anti-racist, though. Clearly, you're anti-bigoted. How does this fit into your ever-diversifying world, you piece of shit? Oh, God. That's the thing. These people are just such huge pieces of shit. Bad news for you. I think it was now, I would be crossing a line. I think that something that happened 15 years ago, it was bawdy behavior, silly behavior. It was, being done in the confines of a set. And with, we were like family working together. What about that that's untrue? What about that enrages you? Oh, I know what enrages you. You're full of hate. That's what it is. While you talk about everybody else being full of hate, you are full of hate. And you're too stupid to realize it. Because you spent your life getting participation trophies and nobody slapping you around the face saying, shut up. Which is what should have happened when you were 3. Oh, my God. Yeah, a good smack bottom wouldn't have done you any harm. Berman said, making it all sound like they were grunting, stalking on all fours and throwing their own poop in 2006 compared to 2021. If you're trying to say the world of 2006 and the world of 2021 are identical and nothing's changed, you're insane. But you are insane. You're an insane liar. The fact that these stories that I've already told, I've been telling them for years. That's true. I haven't hidden anything. Again, is that factual? Yes, it is. Haven't hidden anything. And they've been exaggerating. They tried to turn them into sexual harassment, which are absolutely not. It was not. Exactly. It is not. So now let's hear, is he going to try and justify his hate? Wait, what? So the implication is that exposing yourself to co-workers is sexual harassment, but exposing yourself to co-workers, but you're laughing while you're doing it means it's not sexual harassment. We're confused. I know you're confused because you're an idiot! Yes. Okay. If you expose your genitals and everybody's okay with it and it's clearly not intended to sexually harass somebody, which is clearly wasn't intended to do. But again, in your idiot baby brain world, there is only one answer to anything because you're a totalitarian propagandist. But according to the Barrowman, we're confused because, wait for it, we weren't there. Were you there? Were you there? I think you weren't there, right? I'm pretty sure you weren't there. And the one thing that, for me, all the people that are making all fuss about it, they weren't there. Yes! They don't know the context of the things that were done. Like, I would never do it now, but what we're not allowing people and myself to do is continue bashing the press and everything that's going on just to sell newspapers. Is we're not allowing people to learn and adapt and change. And that's the most important thing, Barrowman argued. Yes, Barrowman. And yes, Barrowman revealed that we've moved on. Not just Barrowman moved on, everybody's moved on. The only people who haven't moved on are you totalitarian bigots. Are you, it's like the Salem witch trials. And you piece of shit, you actually lectured people about having children? Really? Saying that, like, I can't imagine how awful your children would be. Apparently, Times Up UK isn't buying into Barrowman's argument that exposing oneself on set was because there's only one way of thinking. There's no context. That's the thing they want. That's the thing they really hate, context. Because that means they can't vilify whoever they want, whenever they want, which is all they want to do, because they are bad people. That was much more accepted in 2006 either. It was. I'm sorry, but it was. What's the evidence for it? Because it was accepted on set, you ignorant assholes. Following Barrowman's appearance, the organisation issued a statement to Variety pushing back on his comments saying the assertion by John Barrowman that well-documented actions that do not constitute sexual harassment reveals yet again the need for entertainment industry to underline and reassert expectations and standards of behaviour, which is wholly unacceptable. Again, is he doing it now? No. You've done that. They've done, but again, I just think he's a gay man, right? I think he's a gay man. I think you're bigots. And I think you like going after gay men. I think you like going after minorities. I think you like going after people who are in smaller groups who you can swarm, right? I really think you like that. Why do I think you like it? Because I think you're evil, right? I think you're evil. Flashing people is sexual harassment and is never funny. Well, again, the one thing you can always tell when anybody is a fascist is they have no sense of humor. When anyone is a religious zealot, which still these people are, they have no sense of humor whatsoever. Of course, they don't have any sense of humor. Why? Because they don't have any good male role models. Because that's one thing that strength will give you. An ability to laugh, right? If you're a strong person, if you admire strength, right? If you admire masculine strength and somebody says something that you don't like, you're able to laugh it off. Why? Because you have internal strength. But when you don't have that, when you don't have any masculine role model, which you have systematically removed, and then in the greatest propagandist gaslighting way, you laugh at anybody who points it out and say they're toxic, say they're the racist, say they're the bigot, say they're full of hate. No, it's you. It's you. You are the ones that are full of hate, and you're full of hate because you don't have, and you never have had, a good male role model in your life. Yes, we live in the world that you have created, and this world is shit, and it's on fire. So, thank you very much for that, arsehole. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.